firm here in Asia Pacific with dedicated 24/7 client support and no minimum deposit. To trade with Black Bull Markets today, click the link in the description below or in the card above.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear the sound now? It should be fixed, I believe. Yep. All right, cool. Thank you. All right. So right now I'm looking for a next target for the ESM to trade to. And there's a new week opening up at this 4089 and 4086 level. So let's see the DXY again and see if there's any reason for it to keep driving lower. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. This shouldn't be here. This should be on this low. Should be stretched across. All right. This is a no trade range currently, but so far on the challenge, I'm up 1.6%. I'll take you through one of the trades I took yesterday, which helped. As you can see, it was around this time yesterday where I took the first challenge. I'll bring up the MT4 after this to show you the trade. But I saw on the DXY, so we'll get the same time frame out. Give me a moment. It was at 11:55. So we'll go to the DXY. We'll mark out 11:55 on here too. Let me jump down to the 15. 11:55 should be somewhere around here. 55. This is PM. Oh, because that's the wrong one. My apologies. I've just woken up not long ago. I'm quite tired. All right, so 11:55 was here. All right. So on the DXY, since we traded into this volume imbalance, I was slightly bullish to see some form of a reversal, which did happen eventually after pain and suffering of watching the paint dry. Um, so it would have been in this range right here that I would have been looking for sells, because price, for example, anything related to the dollar, so like Euro USD, GBP USD, it will move inversely correlated to the dollar index. And now, because price has moved up here at, it was 11:55. 11:55 price moved down. We go over to the Euro USD. 11:55. Well, what time frame is this in? 5 minutes. When did this move start? 9:40. So it's called to 9:40. Okay, so 9:40, we can see, let's clear up the charts a little bit. Okay, 9:40, we can see the Euro USD decided to travel. I'm going to say this as simply as possible, travel downwards. You know, the trend direction was no longer this huge. It wasn't looking to go bullish as much as it was here, because the DXY came to this daily volume imbalance. So I was expecting some form of reversal, which Euro US dollar traded down. Yeah, Sidhu happy. I'll do gold in a moment. I mean, I'm just gonna run through this and the trade that I took yesterday. We traded down at 9:45, which means on the DXY, I'm expecting at 9:45 for it to trade up. We go to 9:45, DXY traded up. So I ended up taking some sells at 9:55 because of this inverse correlation, the DXY. We have shut down to the 1 minute time frame. So here we have a fair value gap on the 1 minute time frame. Now this is one of ICT's simplest concepts to learn, the fair value gap concept. I took sells inside of this. Well, in fact, I took it a bit early. So sells from anywhere in this range. Reason I took my sells here was because there was also a fair value gap here. Well, this is a sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. So took my sells, wanted to target these relative equal lows right here, because as you can see, the low of this candle is 70.30, 1.07030. Low of this candle is also 1.07030. So I had a want for price to come down and trade to this level. Let's see, 70.30. It traded 10 points away from it. So wanted price to trade down to there. It didn't, which is why I took my sell position. Took my first partials here at these lows. Once price traded down past these lows, I closed half, and I saw there was this bearish order block that was created. So I put my stops just above here. Well, my stops are break even. As soon as price traded to above the halfway of this body, I closed out of the position in full, which was the first trade I took on the account. You want me to take a look at gold? Yeah, I'll do that for you now. All right. Well, my analysis for the DXY will stick for gold too, because they're also inversely correlated. Right now isn't really a tradable range for me. I'd personally be sitting out. We've got this 102.902 level, which is on a daily time frame. This swing lows consequent encouragement, where if I will be expecting bullish moves on the DXY, it'll be somewhere around this level. Which means I'm also in a no trade range for gold. But let's take a look at it on the 4 hour and see if there's any higher objectives. Right, time frame. Let's see. So we've took out a form of buy side liquidity. In fact, yeah, we did it quite nicely. We took out buy side liquidity here, as well as buy side liquidity here. So we've swept two areas of buy side liquidity on gold, which and typically if you want to see, so there's one thing that you need to learn about. No problem. There's one thing that you're gonna need to learn about the market, and this is something that really changed my trading in the way it has now, is that when you see the market, so say for example, right, as an ICT trader, I'm taught to target pools of liquidity in a sense. Now, you can see down here, we have some relative equal lows, right? Let's call these some relative equal lows. In fact, I'll mark it up so it's easy to understand. These relative equal lows, if I was to say, for example, I was here, let me just use the replay tool. So let's say I wanted price to eventually come down and target these relative equal lows. As an ICT trader or smart money concept trader, what I'm taught is I would want price to attack buy side liquidity before it attacks the sell side liquidity. So I want to see highs get taken before these lows are taken. And then, of course, if we just skip ahead in time, you can see that we took a pool of buy side here, we took a pool of buy side here, took a pool of buy side here, and then took a pool of buy side here. Now, there is another pool of liquidity just resting above. Why is it not locking? Just resting above here. So realistically, depending on what the dollar index is doing, I will be waiting for just a setup in gold, US dollar, even ESM. Guess let me see. I've not really done my analysis today on the E-mini S&P 500. So we have an order block. Let's get the 0.5 level of it. Stretch it out. We have an order block, which is the potential reversal area for the E-mini S&P. I'll take a look at the YSM to be the June 2023 contract. Yeah, you can see like the markets are really choppy right now. And tomorrow, I believe, is FOMC. And I personally, especially the day before FOMC, don't like trading into it because the market's in this like weird type of range where it's hard to predict what it's doing. With high impact news, it makes it even harder to get some good trades in. For me personally, I'll show you guys what the account challenge I'm currently at is. I'm trying to figure out how to change screen on this. Give me a moment. Right, I don't think I'll be able to do that just right now. But essentially on the account I took in total yesterday, you pull up MetaTrader 4 on my mobile. So yesterday, we took on Euro USD. I'll get the exact price I took the trades in as well. On Euro USD, the first trade of the day I took was at 107,203. 107,203. What time was this? 7 2:03 my time. So a 5-hour difference. 2:03. Let's see. Wasn't here. 17 2:03. 2:03. I'm pretty sure this was the trade I took. And here for Nas, first aim is last Friday's high. Let's take a look at last Friday's high. I mean, I agree with you. This is an area of liquidity. I would also say that Nas will probably end up targeting these highs only because the market never likes to add smooth edges, and that's something that ICT teaches himself. If these highs get targeted, I mean, measure out the consequent encouragement of this wick too, because that's quite. I think it'll be. All right, so it's just slightly lower than it. If we want to see these highs, if we see these highs being targeted on the hourly, I would hope for bodily closures. So it doesn't matter where the wicks go, as long as the body's closed below the consequent encouragement, which is this black line, I'll be interested in taking sells. ASM was still traded into this order block. Hello, Zerazade. I hope I said that right. How you doing? I guess right now, ESM is still in that iffy range. It's not really giving me a clear direction of where it wants to go since it's traded into this order block. Let's take a look at the DXY. Just travel back in the past a little bit. The 15-minute time frame. Was this a news day? The 14th of February? I'm assuming so, anyways. Not really much I can see apart from check the hourly, just in case there's anything I'm missing out here. Nope. It's liquidity void is just about it. I mean, volume imbalance. Let's take a look at. Let's check the 15. Let's check the 4-hour time frame. See if there's anything. No, nothing. We at 6 Fed weekly open. Let's see. Price is at 103.063. You talking about this weekly open for the E-mini? Wait, no, this ain't. Yeah, it's a very small one. Is this the one you're talking about, Gensler? What's the singular most important signature I anticipate in price before entries? DXY. Hey, give me a moment. Let me just reply to this guy. So the singular most important signature I look for, single most important just thing in general I look for when I'm like trying to enter a trade. I'll give you the group of things I'm looking for. I want to see a form of confirmation on the dollar index. So let's say we're trading ESM. I want to see the dollar index trading up, for example, if I want to take sales from the area I'm right now. And then I want to see a break of market structure because I'm typically a short-term trader. I don't like holding my trades for more than 2-3 hours. Like that, even then, that's a bit still too long. I'll typically wait for something like a break of structure. So this will be more pronounced. I'll wait for price to break down below these lows, for example. And then alongside this break of structure, so wait for a break of market structure. Alongside that, at the break of market structure, I want to see a fair value gap created. Let me just add the DXY up here. DXY correlation. I want to see a fair value gap created. as well as if I want to add partials to the trade, and say, for example, my goal is, let's just say, for whatever reason we choose these lows, right? I also want to see an order block being created. For sells, I want it to be bearish, and for bullish, of course, I want it to be a bullish order block. I want to see price trade past these lows, break of market structure at these lows, fair value gap created, and whilst it's still trading lower, I want to see order blocks being created for me to add potential partials. And then once it's halfway to my take profit level, so let's measure this out. Once it's halfway to my take profit level, I just don't add any more partials. So anywhere within like the upper area is where I'm looking to add partials. Anywhere past the 0.5, it's not really worth it. That if anything is where I'm looking to move my stop loss to break even. Quite interested actually into seeing what the dollar index is going to do at this swing low. Like for my weekly analysis, we've got this sell side inefficiency, buy side imbalance on the daily, sorry. On the weekly, we've got a bullish fair value gap all the way down here, which was tapped into on the 9th of February and the 14th of February. We could potentially be seeing price trade past this, and if it does, I'd want to see a daily closure above this consequent encouragement of this daily swing low. Let's see. And of course on my monthly, it's just like an overall like larger time frame scale. We have optimal trade entry up here. This is of course like amazing if price trades up to here, because I really wouldn't expect it to go any further higher, especially with what's going on in the world right now. Great answer, highly insightful, thanks. No thank you. No thank you for being here anytime. We've got the 50% mark of this swing high. No, sorry, it's this swing high to this swing low. And if price trades above here is where I would be super bearish on the dollar index, meaning on commodities, on E-mini, S&P, the Nasdaq, the Dow, I'd be super bullish on. Any forex pair that's related to the US dollar, so like Euro USD, GBP USD, I'd be super bullish in them from this point onwards if it does trade up into here. This is of course like a larger time frame idea. Still trying to see what happens here. Yeah, so today and tomorrow, I think I'm going to sit out of trading. I've already caught 1.6%. And for Fidelcrest, the target's in total, I think 5% for phase one and 5% for phase two, I'm not mistaken. So I'm hoping for price to trade up to an area where I can, see an obvious trade form after FOMC. And price can also be like, it's not impossible to trade during FOMC. If you guys want, there's something that ICT shows quite often. I think he showed it once or twice during news, in fact. And typically during let me just clean up my whole chart. Typically during times where we want to see huge news moves, so say if FOMC is coming out and we want to gauge where price could go, we're going to want to find new week opening gaps, since price typically refers to those. So let's go to Sunday's opening. We'll mark out this new week opening up, and then we'll get the halfway out. $39.56. So we'll add another one. That's the wrong one. Coordinates 39. Oh, perfect. Let's get it matched up. change the style to dashed line. Get rid of this. So that's how you find the new week opening gap as well. We want to, bro, since you're in New Zealand, how do you manage your daytime to trade New York? See, I'm actually not in New Zealand. So what Trading Nut does is he gets people to stream for him on his channel. We take the challenge like on behalf of him for Fidelcrest. It's quite complicated on how it works. But I'm from England personally. I'm from Manchester. Um, you know, New York session for me is quite easy to get up to. Right now it's 12:25. Um, you know, it's New York session already. So yeah. And I don't know if Trading Though actually trades in New York session. I'm quite interested in that myself. I'll have to ask him. Let's plot a few more new week opening gaps just so we can gauge where price may go for FOMC. This is something I needed to do anyways. So it's Sunday. Guessing this is it. Yep. So, no problem. Let's change this to a line. And this is something where I don't know if I'll be live streaming it myself, but if I am, this will be very interesting to watch and see where price trades to, because there will be an ultimate goal for price to trade to, and once done, it will completely reverse from there on. Let's get the equilibrium of this. So it's 2025. 392025. Let's do that. 3920. This again. Manchester United. I don't really keep up with football, to be honest with you, to that level. Oh, I did this completely wrong. I don't really keep up with football to that level. I'm going to be absolutely honest with you. But since my dad supports Chelsea, I'm going to have to say Chelsea. I have to say Chelsea on behalf of my dad. All right, let's see. 39.17. I was wondering why it looked so off. 39.17. Up Man U. I actually live closer to the Etihad Stadium, so if anything, I'd be supporting Manchester City. Let's see here. Friday, Sunday opening price. Monday, Sunday, Friday. Okay. So we got the closing price here, and we have the opening price right here. Need to change these to lines, and we get the equilibrium of it again, which is 40.88. So at this dashed at 40.88, and we'll get it to be here. And I would just carry on doing this, but it'll probably bore you guys quite a lot. So for FOMC, this is also the June contract, so you wouldn't be able to see much data past like October. We won't be able to see much of last year's data. Noisy neighbors? Yeah, absolutely. It's something I got to deal with living here in Manchester. I am planning to move to Dubai soon, hopefully. Once trading takes off a little bit more, Dubai is definitely on an area I'm looking to move to because of just how beautiful the place is all in all. Here, in fact, let me see if I can put on some music. So during FOMC, we'd hope eventually we want to make sure that we have, a couple more new week opening gaps plotted. But let's say, for example, we've got a new week opening gap somewhere up here too. Let's just say we've got another new week opening up somewhere down here. There's an indicator for new week opening gaps, week and day open by CryptoNet. That's very interesting. But personally, I really don't like using indicators for one reason and one reason only. It kind of builds discipline. But I appreciate you telling me that, and in fact, yeah, I'm quite interested now. So you said week and day open by crypto. I am so tired. Holy, I just realized I was doing the whole thing wrong. Week and day open. I do not see anything. Doesn't seem to be one. Week and day separator, week and day high low. That's all I can see. But yeah, during FOMC, you'd want to be sticking like just to using, you know, like the hourly time frame, the daily time frame, because every time that I've witnessed FOMC, price has moved several hundred points, handles, whatever you trade, it's just moved a huge amount. So I search week gap. I kryptonite. Let's see it. New week opening up, new week opening up, new week opening up. Oh, that's quite cool, I won't lie. It's very interesting. But I don't know. I guess I just personally like building habits of plotting them myself. It built a level of discipline, which at the beginning, because my trading in the beginning was not very successful. I'll say that much. You know, I struggled with. I have ADHD, so that got in the way quite a lot. It made me very impulsive in my trading. And there's something no mentor will be able to help you with, and I can guarantee no mentor that you pay for, that you find for free, whatever, will not be able to help you with your psychology. Of course, they'll be able to say, oh yeah, no, don't do this, don't do that. But then as an individual, you doing it and you not doing it is going to fall on you. And no matter what, your mentor, your teacher, they won't be able to control that for you unless they're literally sat behind you with your hands cuffed together. Those actions are only going to be controlled by you. And the hardest part for me was, since I have ADHD, was just getting over these impulses, you know? Let's say, for example, right now, I want to take sells, and for whatever reason, so let's say here I wanted to take sells, right? And my stop loss was here for whatever reason, I get stopped out. When I first started trading, I would instantly jump back in and try and chase my losses. Now, and I was also risking 1% each time on my account. Like now I'm only risking 0.3%, 0.4%, and at most 0.5%. You don't need to risk a high percentage for you to be able to become profitable. Like I'm risking 0.3%, 0.4%, and on the Fidelcrest 50k challenge, yesterday I took 2 trades in total. I'm up 1.6%, and I'm only risking 0.3%, 0.4%, 0.5% at a time. In fact, here I'll show you how much I risked yesterday. So for this trade that I made 0.73% on, I risked 0.28%, which just goes to show you don't always need to risk 1% either to become profitable. If anything, you're making it so that, for example, if you have a 10% max loss, you can only lose 10 trades before, you know, you lose the challenge. However, if you're risking 0.3% to 0.5%, even call it 0.5% each trade, you're going to be able to, you know, lose 20 trades before you end up winning one. Now, even if you don't trade a strategy and you're just losing trades on trades on trades, like just looking at charts as a complete beginner, I completely forgot where I was going with that. 1 second. Yeah, even if you're looking at charts as like a complete beginner, it's going to be, and I would guarantee you this, however, there is no guarantees in the market. Like, it will not go your way. I mean, it will go, one of the trades will go your way. So of course, having a strategy is very important, but your risk management also defines your trading as a whole. But yeah, once I got over this fear of missing out, FOMO, my trading just excelled. It's like the easiest way I could say to it for you guys is just something clicked, and all of a sudden, I mean, I could show you how many accounts I've blown by doing this. I used to trade NFTs, so I made quite a lot of money from NFTs. I don't want to really say how much, but I made quite a bit. And I lost all that money. And then, when I decided to reinvest into a new skill, because at that time, when I got out of NFTs, they were starting to die down. The hype around them wasn't as much. So I decided to find a new skill, and I'm trading now. I'm trying to make this my full-time thing. But yeah, again, I completely forgot where I was going with that. This is what I mean about my ADHD taking over. But yeah, wanted this sell-side liquidity target, and I did just do that eventually. Yeah, let's take a look at the dollar index and see what that's doing. Still no trade range. It's not giving me a clear direction in the market. But yeah, honestly, if you guys want to be profitable, and I've been trading, okay, here I'll run through a bit of my trading time. I've been trading altogether now, I would say, for about, this isn't just solely on no news day. Yeah, I know today there's no news, and tomorrow there is. So I'm just typically, before you see like a large impact news, you'll see a lot of consolidation in the market the day before, 2 days prior. It's not really worth trading, especially if you get stopped out, because it's going to be hard to re-enter. And if it was like me, I'll just re-enter, blow my account. I've probably blown over like, I'd say 40, 50, 60 funded accounts on like phase 1, not even phase 2. How long do I stay on my charts daily? Very interesting question. So typically, I'd wake up in the morning. I'm a university student too, although I wink nudge nudge, I don't really go, I just do my work. But typically I'd wake up, brush my teeth, do whatever I have to do. I'd spend first thing in the morning, I'd say around 11 my time. There's a nice entry on NAS, but it's outside of things. Let's see. I personally wouldn't be trading NAS right now for just the sole reason of, still waiting for a clear direction in the dollar index, and it's bleeding right now. So I mean, NAS might be going up. Are you talking about buys or sells? Because right now, with the way the dollar index is going into my target at this daily swing lows consequent encouragement, I'd be bullish on NAS if anything. But yeah, daily I'd be spending, in the morning I wake up at around 8 my time, and it's not really a tradable time for me. I like trading the London-New York crossover, so as close as I can to New York, that's also still in London, so I can gauge price from London session. I'd spend about 30 minutes when I wake up at 8, just to gauge the previous day price, where I would expect it to go. And then let's say I come back on the charts at New York time, so just 8 New York time, which is 12 for me. I'd be on the charts from now till like 3 across the stock exchange open. Like, I'll just be on the charts for about 3 hours. Now, I'm not saying you need to be on the charts as much as I am, because I have 2 monitors, right? And I typically just have my charts sat on my second monitor whilst I'm doing whatever. So, I mean, also say for example, I want to wait till price comes down to this level. I could just simply set an alert for the dollar index, and I'll be alerted, to start looking at my chart and whatnot. So it's really up to the person, but me personally, it's always on my second monitor whenever I'm sat down. I also run like every day. I run. Each time I go running, I'll say I run 2-3 times a day. I'm running 1.5 miles each time. That's also something that would affect your trading quite a lot as well. Disciplining your mind even outside of trading. Now, I know this might come off as like, oh, he's just waffling now. He's just talking for no reason. There's actually this book, and it's called Atomic Habits. I decided I wanted to give that a read and start to discipline my mind. And, you know, that book then made me go for daily runs. And like I'm 19 years old, right? For 18 years straight, I was just eating non-stop. I wasn't exercising, not working out. And I would always think it's my fault that nothing's going my way, right? But your mental barriers is like the biggest thing you need to overcome in trading. And that's just me being like completely honest. For me personally, once I decided, you know, to start reading a book, to start going for these runs, my life changed in ways that are super beneficial. And if I could talk to my 14-year-old self, there's so much I'll say to him that I can't say on this stream. How do I balance trading with schoolwork? So honestly, you know, again, since I have like 2 monitors, it's a lot easier for me to do this. I just do my SketchUps in the morning for, call it, half an hour. Like doing my dollar index SketchUp. Let's see. On the monthly, we have OTE up here. That's about a 10-second job. The 50% that also comes with this job. Fair value gap, that's just, you know, you can spot that rather quickly. So if I'm barely dragging it, call this 5 minutes. Let's go down to the weekly. We have this weekly fair value gap. Call that another, 5 minutes to find this fair value gap. This is exaggerations, by the way. It'll take me like 10-20 seconds. We drop down to the daily. We find this sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. Call this another 5 minutes. So even if I'm spending like half an hour a day in the mornings just to mark up my charts, I'm able to, you know, have an idea of where I want price to go and where I want to look at the charts to enter a position from. But yeah, that's how I do it. And you know, I just keep my monitor and my charts on my second monitor from that point onwards. You know, just wait until there's an entry that's there. Still in a no trade range, and you can see like it's just pure consolidation. There's not really much happening apart from price consolidating. If I'm gonna keep referring to myself, like my past trading self, if I was to enter a trade somewhere here, just look at how sloppy markets are moving. I wouldn't be happy being in a trade because I'll be watching the trade for 3-4 hours waiting for a clear direction, and it won't give me that direction. It's something you need. I guess that comes with time. But if you ever get like, if you can ever understand that you want price to go somewhere on a higher time frame narrative and it's not going there, just don't trade. You know, not trading a day and not trading a day and not losing is better than trading a day and losing. You know, I'd rather sit back for today and not take any trades than take a trade and have it be a loss. That's kind of how my mindset works. Like, there's no point trading if it's just, you know, not going to be beneficial. Like, look, it's still consolidating, and I would primarily trade the S&P 500. But the issue with Fidelcrest is they don't allow for they don't have the S&P there. So I was trading, at least for what I saw, they didn't have the S&P there. So I was just trading the Euro USD, and that's what this trade came from. But yeah, that's how I balance. See, gold cleared this liquidity and looks like it's reversing, but still don't want to trade. It's a very interesting day to be trading today. I'll get rid of this now. And whoever's in the trade right now, I'd be interested in knowing what trade you're in and like what positions you entered, because the market's very sloppy for me to be in a trade. So, you know, I might as well entertain myself with you guys and what trades you guys have been in. Check the hourly. Wouldn't this be on the 4-hour chart? Yeah, it would. Nice. this would be a gauge that I'd expect the dollar index to come down to this level, maybe past it and a little bit, but close above it on the hourly. If the dollar index does come down and close above it on the hourly, I'd be hoping somewhere below the mean threshold of this order block that the price stops, and I'll be looking to take sells on much of this. How long did it take me to master ICT concepts? So initially, I've been trading for about 4 years, including pocket options and crypto, and I don't do that no more. But pocket options is if you don't know what it is, say for example, I'm in a minute chart, I would say, all right, I want price to be here, and you have like a timer. You can set that timer for whatever you want, like 2-3 minutes. So say if I set it 2 minutes and then price goes above that level, I think it's 95% of my investment plus. And if it goes below, you lose your 100% of whatever you've decided to invest in it. And initially, I would trade Bollinger Bands, binary options exactly. Initially, I would trade Bollinger Bands, RSI, stochastic oscillators, just a whole bunch of stuff which I never really won with. And then I think it was mid last year, so mid 2022, when my college stopped, I decided because back then I was making money from NFTs and I wanted to make some money, doing something that really matters to me and that I'll be able to do for a long time. Because with NFTs, I knew they'll die off soon enough, and I literally got out at the highest point I could. Yeah, no, absolutely. Binary options is a gamble. I agree with you 100%. At the time, I thought it wasn't, but looking back now, it's clearly gambling. There's not really many other ways you can put it. But yeah, I'd say about 1.5 years ago, I decided I needed to find something different. No support and resistance, no indicators. I just wanted to, because with me, I've always known price, it doesn't move the way it moves by accident. It just can't be buying and selling pressure. It never made sense to me. Even when I first started looking at charts, I even asked my dad the same thing, and even he agrees with me. This can't be by accident. And that's when I came across, ICT. And when I started watching ICT, I was very surprised at the stuff he was teaching. His 2022 mentorship was packed with information. It's very easy to get information overload from ICT, because even though I am his student, he does waffle quite a lot. So, he's trying to pick out bits of information from his waffle, and, information overload happens. But about 1.5 years ago, I started trading ICT day in and day out. I'd be spending 5-6 hours a day. My social life was I had no social life at all. I barely spoke to my friends, and in fact, I still barely speak to them. But yeah, it's definitely been worth it. 100%, it's been worth it. 1.5 years, and now finally I'm starting to come to grips with it. So another thing is, most of us are trading to get out of the situation. Sorry, I'm shorting you. Yeah, just give me a second to mention this. I'll go check that. Most of us are in the situation we're in. We're trying to trade. We're trying to make all of this money because, we don't want to be where we are right now, and it's that simple. And now, how I mentioned before that I've stopped talking to my friends and, stopped socializing. Once I make all of this money, I'm going to be out of this situation. That includes me being out of the friend group I was in, out of, anything that was really holding me back. Because I'm going to be completely honest here, my friends don't understand what I'm doing. They all think it's a gamble. They all think it's an accident. Some of them don't even believe it happens, But my dad's, of course, my dad's like my supporter, and he's always been my supporter. He understands everything, and, my dad's the only person who I'll take to the top with me. But once I'm completely out of this situation, I would never look back on the people who, who I was surrounding myself with whilst I was in this situation. It's kind of, I've seen this thing on TikTok so many times. It's like, imagine their faces when you make it. you really wouldn't be looking at their faces once you've made it. You know, you'd be too busy living your own life, you know, traveling with your family, everything. Tell them that 9 to 5 is also a gamble. Opening a business is a gamble. Exactly. And the thing is, you can't make nothing with risk. There's a difference, and I argue with one of my friends about this quite a lot. Gambling and calculated risk, they're two completely different things. You know, trading's not gambling is taking calculated risks. And exactly, the 9 to 5 is also a gamble, because you're literally gambling your time. Your boss could lay you off one day and the next you have no job. It is kind of crazy. And like, for me, I'm 19, you know, I haven't had to work a day in my life. I'm blessed. When I was doing my NFTs, my dad initially funded me for that. You know, I'm blessed. Alhamdulillah. Like, you know, I've not had to work too hard. Well, I'm showing EU from the breaker targeting lows. Let's see. Yeah, I'll just do it like this. You short from the breaker, targeting lows. So I'm guessing this is your position. So that nice 1 to 2.4. I'm guessing that's your position, right? It's very interesting. Again, like, look, the dollar index, it's just choppy movement. And I could probably extend this box all the way to stock exchange open, and, you know, would still expect price to be in this consolidation rate. 742 candle. 742. Also, you're in short from wait, hold up. Am I blind? 742. Where did it disappear to? Okay, 742 is this candle. So I'm guessing you're in short from, well, wherever you could have went short from. Traded below it. Where would your stop loss be? Because, I mean, if you entered here, your stop loss would be here, I'm guessing. You know, you would have got stopped out here, but then if you re-entered a bit later, say here, your stop loss would still be, I'm guessing you have tighter stop losses, right? So many entries. I personally wouldn't see an entry here, because, again, like, you know, I'm basing all my analysis off the dollar index. It's above the high. Interesting. So a 1 to 2, it's still not bad. You know, it looks like this trade's working out for you, so, you know, well done for that one. But again, like, look at the way the dollar index is moving. Until it comes down to here, I'm not really, like, looking for a direction of trade. And that's probably the worst thing about trading. It's just, sometimes it's like watching paint dry, and that's as easy as I can say it. Gonna slap lower. I'm so short. Alright, let's see this. See what happens here. I mean, the most I can see happening on euro here. Let me just do something on higher time frame real quick. Whoa. You know, I would, I mean, I don't know if I'd be short just yet, but, you know, shorts are a viable option. I would be short eventually, but just not right now. Again, like, I base all of my trades off the dollar index. Yeah, we calculating risk and reacting to market conditions based on probabilities. Exactly. You know, you can't really trade if there is no probabilities. Everything we're doing is just based off probabilities. You know, even, for example, the people that go into casinos and their card counters, you know, even card counters, they're still taking probabilities. Now, they have the house edge. Like, you know, we have the house edge, learning what we learn. But at the end of the day, everything is just up to probabilities. Literally everything. You look at your desk right now. Your desk was made of a probability, right? You look at you in the mirror. You was made based on a probability, as in like 1 in 400 trillion or something like that. Everything's based on probabilities. It's just your time to get that edge on the probability. Like your chance of being born was 1 in 400 trillion, I believe it is, or 400 billion. You're here, aren't you? So what's to say you can't be profitable in trading? You need to find your edge, and you need to get to your edge as soon as possible. AUD was a 2022 entry. Here, let's check. Whoa, when was this? This was back in 2022. That's the last time I opened this chart. Typer. Higgly Biggly is this? Oh my god, this was this was time ago. Why are my boxes like this? Sorry, I'm just mesmerized by it. Why did I'm not even gonna question my old self. Check you. Let's see. Yeah, we cleared out those lows. That was a nice trade, bro. Nice trade. You know, I still personally wouldn't be like, you know, taking the trade entry because of the reasons that I've mentioned before. You know, dollar index is still consolidating too. Why trade E-mini S&P futures instead of just S&P? Okay, so the reason I prefer trading futures over CFDs, you know, which is what you see on MetaTrader and stuff, is on CFDs, I believe personally, there's micro manipulation levels. Like if I was to bring up, let's see, if I was to bring up the S&P 500, right? Give me a second. If I was to bring up, if I can find it, the SPX, I'm guessing. It's been a while. Okay. If I was to look at the SPX, and I would come down into a 5-minute chart, call it. We see that. All right, let's see. Let's drop down into the 1 minute too. This ain't it. This ain't it either. This ain't it either. Hold up. Alright, here we go. So the reason I trade futures over CFDs, which is what this is alright, let's mark out this high and this high. They're even, right? Let's take a look at it on here. I'm guessing they're even on here too. Alright, they're even on here and here, right? I don't know if price is exactly the same here. Let me have them side by side real quick. Do they look exactly the same to me? Give me a second, just taking a look. Alright, yeah, no. Alright, got it. Alright, so as you can see, right, let's take a look at this candle, for example. Let's take a look at this candle right here. This candle is at 847. We come to 847 on here, right? You see how this candle has a down wick? 847 doesn't have a down wick on here. My personal belief is that, you know, there's slight levels of manipulation within CFDs, whereas futures, it's exact price movements, you know, coming directly out of, like, I have to pay extra for this package to get real-time data, whereas, you know, with what MetaTrader uses and everything, I believe there is slight levels of manipulation with like inside of it. Okay, like, no bottom wick here, but 947 on here, there's a bottom wick, you know. That's why I personally trade, and also the level of precision I got once switching to the E-mini it's been visible. Like, I've been taking trades that I wouldn't usually take because that data wouldn't be available, for example, in thingy. Like, let's see here. Let me give you an example real quick. Of course, I'm not trading it, and this isn't an entry. This is just for reference. Like, I'm just trying to find one. Let me see. Okay. This is a volume imbalance right here. We have, you know, the close and we have the open. You see this gap between them. So this volume imbalance is only visible on the futures contract. If we take a look at the CFD, there is no volume imbalance here. So that's my reasoning for trading the E-mini S&P over the CFDs. It's just these levels that you can't see, the slight manipulation. I'd rather trade with no manipulation and clear levels rather than trading with manipulation and no clear levels. That's my personal take. And so if I were to take a trade on a CFD like this, for example, I would do all of my analysis on the DXY as well as the E-mini, and then just cross-reference with MT4 or MT5 just to give you a nice gauge of what I'm looking at. But yeah, I'll just cross-reference, and then I'll also make sure that my stop loss is a bit lower. So say, for example, for whatever reason we're long here and our stops is just below this candle. On this, for example, we would it would look more like, which candle did I say it was? This is 724. Is it 724? Yeah. So below 724 is low. That's not 24. That's 24. So instead of the position looking exactly the same whilst I'm cross-referencing, because of the slight manipulation that I assume there is from the reasons I showed you, my stop loss would be slightly larger, and overall my RR is lower, but it's safer just because I don't like what happens with the manipulation. Still not really a tradable range for me right now. We have a volume imbalance on the 5-minute chart for dollar index, drop to the 1. Watching the opening will be very interesting. Let me check my email real quick to see what time I have to be skedaddling. Till 2:30 my time. So I'm here for another hour, boys. I'm here for another hour. I guess we get to watch the stock exchange open together. Yay. So tired. My apologies for yawning down your ears. My sincere apologies. Alright. Once dollar index trades below here, I would be short-term bullish on pairs, for example, the S&P 500, gold, Euro USD. I'll be short-term bullish on them, from when these lows are taken. However, I personally still wouldn't be entering a trade until we see some sort of, price movement like this. A breakthrough, a retest, and back through. I'd be waiting just to see what this level brings. And of course, you have FOMC tomorrow, so it's going to be very choppy movement today. Very choppy movement. Wait, if I were to play some music right now, would you guys be able to hear it? Hold up. And also, if you guys have any questions for me that maybe you have that you haven't been able to ask anybody about trading, or even in real life, if you have any questions that you need answering, or that I can try and give you a lending hand towards, just ask them, and I'll be glad to help you or offer any guidance that I can. All humans at the end of the day, we may look different on the outside, but inside it's still flesh and bones, no? What I see on the outside and what I am on the outside shouldn't affect what I really am on the inside. So yeah, if you guys have any questions you need answering, just ask, and I'll be more than glad to help, offer guidance. More than glad. Let me get rid of this. What's my entry pattern? I'll run through it again. So typically, I want to see a confirmation in the dollar index. So here, I'll write it down again for you. I want to see a confirmation in the dollar index. Second, I want to see in my pair. So say, for example, I'm looking at the ESM, right? I want to see a break of market structure. So for example, I want to see these highs being broken. So I want to see a break of market structure. Alongside that, I want to see the fair value gap being created on the break of structure. That's where I'll enter off. I'll enter off the retest of the break of structure as well as the fair value gap. So I'll be looking for a break of market structure with a fair value gap. And then if I want to add partials, I'll be wanting to see order blocks along the way, just so I can add my partials on those order blocks. And then by the time price gets to 50% of where I want, to take my full profits, I move my stops to break even. And also, I stop adding any partials at all. So I stop adding partials once it's 50% of the way there, and my stops are at break even. And then after 50%, I'll start closing partials. I wouldn't be adding them, I'll be closing them instead. So that's what I look for. And this is everything that you see here is taught on ICT's 2022 free mentorship. That's all you need. This free mentorship is more than enough. No problem, anytime. If there's any more questions anybody have, please don't be afraid to ask. See what happens at this 9:30 stock exchange opening. I'll start marking some stuff at 9:30, to see what there is to mark, and if there is any potential trade entries. So tired. Had to wake up quite early to make sure I got this live stream today. No problem, Ali. No problem. Anytime. I guess we're just waiting for something to happen because we're still in this consolidation range. And the DXY isn't really doing much. See what it does of this volume imbalance here on the 5. See if there's any reaction, any bodily supports. What I would personally hope for is that it doesn't matter where the wick travel to. If body would stay inside of a volume imbalance, for me, that marks significance. So I want this candle before it closes to close below here. The 2022 mentorship, yeah. So if you search up on YouTube the Inner Circle Trader or ICT 2022 mentorship, the whole playlist should be there, and that's all you need. There's about 40 episodes in there, and each episode can range from 10 minutes to 40 minutes, but your time will be paid back to you with interest once it's done, like in whole. What's my trading journey been so far? All right, so there was so many times during my trading curve that I wanted to give up, and in fact very recently I wanted to give up too. It's not going to be sunshines and rainbows from the beginning, and when I wanted to give up, I was also severely depressed because I don't want to work. I never wanted to work, and I won't work a 9 to 5 for the rest of my life. So, it came with a huge amount of depression, every time I'd fail, because I've blown about, I'd say, I've blown at least 40 accounts, funded accounts. and some of those, like I'd say a good 20-30% of those were 100,000 accounts. Yeah, every time I wanted to give up, it came with depression. But my dad always tells me, you only fail once you give up. No matter how many times it seems that you're failing, you're learning. And no matter how many times it seems that you're failing, until you give up, it doesn't matter. That's the most important thing. US 30, I'm looking for a let's check US 30. How long after learning ICT did you start trading with a live funded account? Only recently I've started because to see my success, and like pretty much call it last month. So a year and a half of studying. Where are you from? I'm from Manchester. My dad's from Pakistan and my mom's from India. But my mom's born and raised here. I'm born and raised here. My dad's more British than I am. So, there's that. Am I a Cancer? No, I'm a Virgo. I always never want to work my whole life. No, my reason is just simply because, my dad had a shop when I was younger. I got robbed. It was due insurance on a Monday. He was making thousands a day. But because we didn't get insurance, everything got lost once that shop got robbed. And, my dad didn't have to work at that point. And my grandfather, he was super rich as well. Something happened. So, I don't want to work because of what I witnessed. Price equilibrium, looking for a buy below the equal today or tomorrow. What do you want? What do you in a what do you mean, brother? I don't understand what you're asking. I'll check that in a minute. Why is that? This is what I tell my kids too. Exactly. It's a blessing to have a father who's able to say these stuff, because it really does affect the child's mindset in the long run. Is it any strategy? What is ICT? Is it any? Okay, so the inner circle trader is a person who's been around since like the 1980s. He's been on baby pips and stuff like that. He teaches, I would say, his own strategy, although I'm pretty sure Larry Williams did come up with supply and demand. ICT, he's a person who teaches a strategy which is, I guess, perfected and created by him. You could just search up ICT 2022 mentorship and it will show up. EU telling stories. EU is telling stories. It's still consolidating. Not what? Who in a circle trader? Yeah, he's a person, exactly. Do I trade GJ? I have PTSD from trading GJ. I'll run you through this. I got funded multiple times, and one of those times I've been funded, like this was my second time being funded and seeing a full funded account. I traded GJ. I mean, I had GJ on my charts, on my MetaTrader, and I was meant to put 25 lots into the S&P 500. I ended up putting 25 lots into GJ and getting stopped out instantly. Oh yeah, sorry about this. Yeah. So you're looking at equilibrium. So I'll measure it from here to here. This is this recent swing high. And you're saying you are looking for a buy below the equilibrium of today. Oh, of today. Yeah, let me check that for you. See what I would say. I still wouldn't really take any trades until the DXY has a clear direction of where it wants to go. But I mean, we have a fair value gap down here. We have one slight one here. I mean, yeah. Eventually I'll be bullish on the DXY, which means bearish on this. So I don't know. Cleared out a pool of liquidity right here. So I'm not really too sure about that. A powerful one, probably the best by far. Exactly. ICT is really amazing. How do I normally calculate my risk on FT5? So this is going to be very, very you'll probably be questioning this. But say, for example, if I want to take a buy right now, right, and I'm on NT5, this is a very stupid thing to do, so I wouldn't recommend it, but this is how I do it. I'd place a buy order, say somewhere down here. I'll move my stop loss to say what I want my entry to be. Let's see. Say I want my stop loss to be at most 6.4. So just say I want this like candle size of a stop loss, right? So I'll try and gauge that with my mind. That's about that candle size, and I would look at what the stop loss is in minus, and whatever that is, I'll keep adjusting the lot size until it becomes a price I like. Of course, there is calculators, but this way it's just a lot more efficient for me. If price does for some reason just drop into my level and tag me in, then I guess I'm done for. But I'm just gonna hope that never happens. So I usually go in like the hourly time frame and do it quite far away just to make sure that won't happen. Yeah, trading note, you're doing an amazing job. It's good to see. I do think that trading note is asleep right now. It's New Zealand time, so it's quite late for him. I think it's 1 a.m. for him right now. Amelog, California as well. ST is amazing. I'm getting profitable with the strategy. Exactly. ICT he's one of a kind, and he's teaching price how I would have assumed price to be. I would have expected, seeing some movement. The dollar index is still ranging. What did we trade into? Traded into the level of interest for me. However, I'm still not trading. This would just be like tape reading. I'm just tape reading right now. I'm not taking any trades. I'm not doing anything. It's pure tape reading. If you guys have any questions, again, just please don't be be afraid to ask or anything like that. I'll be here to answer them for the next 45 minutes. See what happens with the dollar index from this area. Joshua, thank you for following me. There you go, I'll follow you back. Also, yeah, I am slowly starting to build up my social media presence. If you guys can go ahead and follow me on Twitter, I'd greatly appreciate that. It's in the video title at the end, solitaire_ICT. I greatly appreciate that. But yeah, if you guys that's my first time asking this whole stream. It's just because Joshua follows. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. I guess right now my bearishness for DXY would come in play. We've, took out resting highs, traded into a fair value gap of interest. We in fact traded up into this order block too. Quite literally traded up into this order block too. Hold up. Precision is unrivaled. Precision is unrivaled. And now what I would personally hope for is, since we're approaching stock exchange open, I want to see these lows being ripped through now. Like just a couple minutes before, I want to see these lows being ripped through. Dash line. Add a text onto it. Sell side liquidity. I'll add a dash. There we go. Add it at the bottom right. Actually, bottom center. That looks terrible. That looks hideous. Hold up, give me a second. I think I did this. Let me change the text to maroon. Let's see what happens here. You said you didn't take partials after 50% of terminus is reached. Is that from ICT? No. So I guess that just comes from me and experience. But that's just something I've learned, like, taking partials and whatnot. I don't think ICT has really touched upon it in his streams. I don't think he's touched upon it yet. It might be in his private mentorship, but I haven't seen anything of it. I just take partials above the 50%. I mean, before the 50%, I add partials, and after I close, it just helps me, like, I guess, with my discipline. What if I want to keep adding partials after 50%? I just tell myself no, and I'll have the 50% marked out, and then from that point on, I'm making sure if I ever want to add a partial, I'm closing one. I'm not adding one, I'm going to be closing one. That's just from time and experience. I'm trading the stock market every day for about 4 or 5 hours a day for a year and a half straight. it brings some insights that you wouldn't have thought before. That's one of them. Thank you, Oro Plomo, for the follow. I greatly appreciate that. And thank you, Michael Hogan. Really appreciate that. Hopefully by this time next year, I'll be in the top leagues of traders. By the end of this year, I'm hoping to be leaderboards across FTMO, my Forex funds, the whole bunch. So, the growth is going to be exponential, but I believe we'll get there in the end. All in due time. So, let's see. Reaction of this fair value got this order block. Take a look at the ESM, for example. I want to see ESM lead. I want to see the EXM rocket. So I want to see the DXY. Once we get a break of this structure with a fair value gap, I would be interested in taking a demo trade, because I don't really want to trade on the 50k account, since it's FOMC tomorrow. The FOMC comes a huge amount of consolidation the day before. Let's see. Any questions you guys have, just please don't be afraid to ask them. I'd love to help. And, it's something that I wish I could have had someone do once I started trading, because there are questions I had at the beginning that people weren't able to answer for me. This is another area of interest I'll be looking at. Let's see what happens. I want to see the dollar index bleed from here. Would this be really well? I'll be looking for price though. I'm trying to think. I would probably take a demo trade here. Let's just do a hypothetical and see what happens. So I'd have my stops below here, quite tight, targeting the right side. Let's see what happens. Seven minutes still, stock exchange open too, so we might see a lot. Who do I support in an India-Pakistan cricket match? Honestly, I don't really watch cricket, and I would say I'm more British than anything else. So if England's playing, go on, my boys, go on, England. Yeah, I'd support England. All right, here we go. We got a volume imbalance here. Let's mark this out. Let's mark out completely. Let's see what happens in this area here. Let's see what happens. I'd want to see the bodies respect it. So I wouldn't want to see a body close below it. If not, then I'd probably just invalidate the trade as a whole. All right, body respected it. There we go. Got another volume imbalance here for the sell side too, so let's see what happens here. Can I take a look at the gold chart? Absolutely, I can. I'd go down to here, in fact, because I might not ask this quite often. So I'd gold, take a look at it. Gold, oh yeah, so on the 4 hour, was it the 4 hour I was looking at, or was it must have been the daily? That was on the daily chart. Took out level of buy side right here. Change this to buy side liquidity, BSL color. So took out this level of buy side. I really am bearish. However, I'm also temporarily bearish on the dollar index. We might see a short-term move higher, within the smaller time frames, maybe to, let's say 50%, trade it back up into discount, and then for price to continue. Let's take a look at this. Want to see the bodies just respect this volume imbalance. It doesn't matter where the bodies trade to, other than the wicks go to. As long as the bodies respect it, I would say this is still valid entry for myself. Let's see gold. Gold is still, I don't know. As of right now, I mean, that's probably an area of interest to me. Of course, I'm not really looking to trade anything on my live account right now since FOMC is tomorrow and it's just really a consolidation day today. I do want to see dollar index come out to these lows soon and then eventually trade to this daily swing lows, consequent encouragement. Like my ultimate goal. And then, if it continues dropping lower, my next target would be this weekly fair value gap with this slight daily one. Let's see what happens here. Check gold. Gold is in the area of interest. Can you look at it? Do you think AU will sleep previous days low? Yeah, let's take a look at AU at 66660. 66660. I'm doing it the long way. Hold up. Previous days low is right here. Do I think AU will sweep this low? Well, eventually I'll be bullish in the US dollar, at least from this point onwards, or if not down here. I would see that as an objective to reach. Absolutely, I do think this is a very reachable objective within the foreseeable future. That's what I personally, believe. Because especially with the way the dollar index is moving now, we can break out. Perfect. As you can see, the bodies are still respecting this volume imbalance. After we had this one that closed in, we've not had another one close in. So hopefully from here, I'd be expecting a nice move to the upside now. One minute's looking terrible right now. We've got 2 minutes to the stock exchange open too. See what happens here. Of course, again, like this is the hypothetical trade. I'm not really in the trade right now, especially since I've mentioned with what's happening in the FOMC tomorrow. It's not really an area I would be looking to trade. But let's see. Let's see what happens here. So also earlier when I mentioned that I had 50%, I had partials before and after 50%. If it's a very small move like this, from my entry, this is, let's see, not even 5 handles, this is 4 handles. I wouldn't really add partials here. It's more of if it's like a 20 handle move or like 10, 15 handle move, that's only when I'll add partials. But for small moves like this, I wouldn't typically add partials, no. Let's see what happens here. teasing my take profit. Well, hypothetical take profit at least. Alright, stock open, stock exchange open. Let's see what happens here. There we go. Take profit tag. Of course, I didn't actually take this trade on my account because with FOMC being tomorrow, I personally don't like trading a day before. But you know, if you entered in this trade, congratulations. You know, you made yourself a nice 2.6. But this isn't financial advice at all. Yeah, it's just seeing what happens with the day before FOMC. Which means that I'm hoping the dollar index slices through these lows right now. You know, targeting a CE. But yeah, let's see where the ultimate goal for this is. We have a fair value gap right here. Let's lower the opacity a bit. They'll definitely be. Sorry about that. They definitely manipulate price down to around 102,238 levels in the XY when news tomorrow. No, absolutely. The amount of manipulation that happens with news is just incredible. Here we go. We got sell side taken. Now I'd expect a continuation. And you said 102,238. Let's see what's that 102,238. 238. 238. That should be good. Let's check on the daily. See what the significance. 238. We're talking about this. I can see that being an objective. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, these lows do look like they want to be taken. They look a bit too neat, I guess you could say. Yeah, with FOMC, that's definitely a target where I'd want to mention, where I'd want to, you know, see traded into this consequent encouragement of this fair value gap just yet. No, we have not. Let me get rid of the rest of these lines too. Just need the 0.5. That's all we need. Why is it not letting me? What? Okay. They'll definitely, yeah, man, right there. Looks too clean. Oh yeah, no, absolutely, it does. Yeah, I can see it taking out and then instantly just shooting off up into premium. They'll use tomorrow as a means to gain a huge discount on whatever they're trying to get into. And with this being the monthly premium discount up here, I can see the dollar index definitely shooting up to somewhere in this area for them to then drive it further lower. Because the dollar index is heading into the dumps right now. I mean, the dollar is heading into the dumps right now, like, you know, just fundamentally. So I'd expect them to manipulate price higher before it drops off. So I mean, you know, took out these lows. You know, most I'd see is a return to where it is now. And I'd hope it to continue. Bro, I haven't been able to stop yawning, so I apologize on behalf of myself. Still not traded up into the consequent encouragement of this fair value gap yet, so not too bothered about this position on the chart. So it looks like I actually did something today. Traded up into, well, there's not really much significance to where it's traded up into. I want to see it reverse from here. If not, then I'm completely like off my trading terminal for today. I don't really see anything. It's crazy how once you understand ICT concepts, you start to see why news pushes prices. Exactly. You know, people. How will this make sense, right? For example, when Jerome Powell was speaking, he'd walk on stage for a second, not even have said anything, not even showed any body language, and price would instantly dump. Like, it just goes to show You know, like it's obviously rigged. The market's been rigged for ages, and not many people have known it. But yeah, absolutely. Once we understand the ICT, being able to see why price pushes where it does is probably one of the strong cards of it. It's amazing to have, the ability to be able to see where price goes. Let's see right now. Still not traded to the consequent encouragement yet. See what would have happened if we target this fair value gap. It would have been a 1 to 4.6. Interesting. Well, there are those that know what news is coming before it actually hits our feed. Yeah, absolutely. But then you also need to think about buying and selling pressure. What sense would it make that buying and selling pressure controls the market? They paid a lot of money to have this information available minutes before us. No, absolutely. But here's the thing, right? I don't know if I still have it on my chart, but if I do, then amazing. Okay, I believe it was somewhere around here. With this news day, price literally traded down into a new week opening up as the second Jerome Powell walked on stage. The second he walked on, it traded down into the bottom of a new week opening up and just left off, not knowing what the news was, good or bad. And I'm pretty sure the news was good, if anything. And then just look at where price went. Instantly rejected. If they knew that the news was going to be bad, then why didn't it keep pushing lower, Still haven't traded into the consequent encouragement just yet. What was the bad news that day? Here, let me check on Forex Factory for you. Give me a second. Forex Factory, let me check the day. It was 13th of March. So going to Forex Factory, March 13. Oh no, it wasn't March 13th. Hold up. Which day was it? It wasn't March 13th. It was a day where it dug. It was CPI. It was the day with CPI. Was it the 14th? Let me see. CPI was on the 14th. Alright, so yeah, it must have been this level right here then. Yeah, this looks like a news candle. Traded into a new week opening gap, and if I can, in fact, let me try and plot it for you. I'll need to go on to the see if it shows it up on the CFD. SPX. Can you tell me about the new week opening up? It's typically a place where the algorithm will want to refer to when it's trading into a certain level. So with the new week opening up, if I'm expecting news to push price a certain way, I have a couple of new week opening ups marked above and below the current price. I want to see, price trade down to 1, trade into 2, and then reverse from there. It just gives occasion where the algorithm wants to take price to gain as many positions as it can. I had positive news that day, but for sure it's used as a smoke screen. Their positions are already in place way before the news hits. Oh no, it's definitely a smoke screen. Like, I don't know. Personally, I just think, I don't know. Like, it was good news, right? Price still shut down into a new week opening gap, and I'm pretty sure this was like the new week opening gap that was formed on New Year's too, if I'm not mistaken. It did trade to that level and then just completely left off again. So it's very interesting. Yeah, the CPI was positive indeed. Yeah, let me try to bring up my terminal on screen to see if you guys can see the... I don't know if you guys can see this. No, I don't think you guys can. But it was just me showing the account standings for today. Can I plot gold? Yeah, sure. You know, I was hoping price on gold to reverse from this area. It did just that. On the larger time frames, I was bearish. You know, took out this buy side liquidity. I'd expect price to reverse from here. And we did just that, and especially on the 15 minutes, reversed off the level I mentioned. Dropped down into the smaller time frames. When it was up here, we'll look for an entry. If you want to be really thingy with your entries, I don't know if you'd classify that as a fair value gap, but if you really wanted to, you could have took a short from here with your stop loss just above the high that you measure the fair value gap from, targeting these lows. You know, that could have been the position you took when I mentioned that this 15 level was of significance to me. Yeah, liquidity rate to get better pricing before they move up. Classic power of 3 for the day. You know, absolutely. Power of 3 is a very interesting concept to me, and the way it works is also very, I don't know, it's very what's the word I'm looking for? It tells you a lot of stories about how the market moves. The power of 3 tells you exactly how it moves, and it's very interesting to witness. So we took out sell side, still got no direction, still consolidating. I'm still waiting for price to trade down into this daily consequent encouragement swing low, and maybe even if it continues to bleed this weekly fair value gap or this daily micro fair value gap, which is just here. Trade up into an area of premium, so discount, so let's see what happens from here. Let's take a look at the ESH and see what's happening right now. Oh shit, didn't mean to do that. Didn't trade up into the halfway, so that fair value gap is still being validated right now. See if there's anything in the 1 minute. See, I'm still expecting bearishness on the dollar index, so I do want to see this being traded past soon. Let's see what happens. Not really much to see. How do you calculate lot sizes in futures? Okay, so good question. In futures, there's minis and there's micros. With a micro, in fact, let me just, so I'm not telling you wrong figures. Each quarter point, so as you can see, price is moving into 0.25, 0.5, 0.75, 0.75. Each quarter point has its own value, and I think in a micro it's $12.50. Okay, let me check futures. Okay, yeah, so so each point, so every 0.25 is equal to $12.50. DXY going for that weekly fair value gap around 102,580. Weekly fair value gap around 102,580. Oh yeah, no, yeah, that's a zone for where I want to see price trade to. I do want to see the dollar index trade up to, above into a discount because of what's happening fundamentally with it. I'm not seeing a good future for the dollar. So I want to see price being manipulated up to this level before a huge dump. I just want to see a trade up to there. Think about the market like this. See, we have their playlist on price. They have bulls, bears, reversal, and consolidation playlist. Buy or sell, don't move the market. Huh? Think about the market like this. Central banks have the playlist on price. Okay. Interesting way of looking at it. Interesting way of looking at it, indeed. Let's see if there's anything that he wants to give us yet. See if there's any trade entries here. Still no, and I'm pretty sure we're in optimal trade entry right now too, just by eyeballing it. Euro US dollars moving in synchronization with the dollar index. Well, no, in fact, it's inverse synchronization. I guess I want to see this as a level for it to reverse from. If not, then I wouldn't be too sure in any position just yet. Let's see what happens here. We have a volume imbalance right here. But the issue being there isn't a clear direction on the dollar index yet. So one of the worst things, and that I made a mistake at the beginning of trading, was not sitting in price, like not waiting. I just want to be in price. I want to take a trade here and then, and every second I'll just be looking for a trade entry, when you really just have to wait for yourself to form. It's all a game of patience. So like if I were to take a trade, I would want to see this buy side being taken, as well as these relative equal highs right here. When I see these highs being taken on the dollar index, break of structures to the upside, I'd want to see a break of structures to the downside on the E-mini. Fair value gap being created, wait 10 to 15 minutes for it to trade back up into that fair value gap, and then just let it bleed from there. That's what I'd be hoping. Want to ask, why did you choose the candle wick as a point of interest in gold? Okay, so think of it like this, right? Wicks are essentially gaps in the market, and this is something that ICT teaches himself. So look at this real quick. You can probably look at ICT and realize why I chose this specifically. Correct me if I'm saying this wrong, but this is a bearish breaker, I believe. And the reason I'm choosing the wick is because once price trades, it's quite a small body, right? Once price decides to trade up into the 0.5 of this body, once it trades like through it, as it did like here, it changes through the wick. Once it trades past it, I wouldn't measure it from its body, I'll measure it from the wick. Because once it trades past the 0.5 of its body, it becomes invalidated. And as you can see, price, once it broke through the low of this wick, it didn't trade to above the 0.5, which is right here. But yeah, it's a breaker, and then price bled. Also, if you guys don't mind, I'd greatly appreciate you go giving me a follow on Twitter. My handle's at the bottom. It's _ICT. Trying to build a social media presence in trading, and of course, I'm only just now getting started, so anything would help as of now. I'd greatly appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, their position on gold from that 15-minute wick would have been, got the break of it here. Let's drop into the 1 minute time frame, because I like taking my entries of smaller time frames. As I mentioned, if you wanted to classify this as a fair value gap, had it form, would have took a short position. Stops here, targeting these lows. Price to just start, and if you come to the hourly time frame, let's see any other area we could have targeted. Could have targeted this area of sell side. Yeah, that could have been your ultimate goal. So the trade would have looked more like this. You would have had your take profit here. You would have had this marked out as a line. Let's have it white. You'd have it marked out with SSL. You'd have it marked out as PP1. Then you'd want to add that you close half your position here or a quarter of your position here. So for me, I would say close half. Once you've closed half at this area here, you'd let it ride to your TP, and that's where you close full, or you'd close another quarter, and then stop to break even and let the quarter run. Close half, stops to. That would have been the trade you could have took. Why is it not letting me adjust this height? Alright, anyways, let's keep taking a look at the ESM. Let's take a look at the 5-minute chart, 3-minute chart, nothing, just wicks. 5-minute, nothing. Still not really a tradable range for me. You know, the dollar index hasn't given me an indication which direction it wants to go, so I can't really predict anything. Thanks, man. Short, are you an Insta? Yes, I am. I will put it in the chat now. Give me a second. That's my Insta, and you know, you can see a picture of me on there. So if any of you want to go stalk me, then you know, just head to that. That's my Insta. You got a picture of me there as my profile picture. So, you know. Let's see what happens here. Dollar index just consolidate. It's not really giving me much of a range. I wouldn't expect the E-mini to give me a direction either because of the dollar index. So I'd be expecting right now the whole market to consolidate until the dollar index. I'd be expecting a rapid movement in the dollar index past here. So once we break here, I'd want price to push down quite fast. And yeah, I may or may not look for an entry right now. May or may not look for an entry. Let's see. Oh, we need the dollar index to give us a sense of direction first, of course. Traders link up when I get funded and quit my job. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. You know, I'll probably be streaming here for another few weeks. So if you're a regular, you know, once we're all funded, we'll all meet up. Absolutely. We'll set up a meet and greet. We'll do it in New Zealand. So trader note, you'll get enjoyment out of it. But yeah, the thing is, you're gonna notice you'll be funded sooner than you think. It'll happen way too fast. Indeed. A very, very fast transition from failing non-stop to all of a sudden something clicking, and you just all of a sudden understand the market. Still no sense of direction, so not really looking for anything right now. Once the dollar index breaks here, I'd expect a rapid movement, and if not, then could expect consolidation for the rest of the day. Here we go, we broke past it. I want price to just continue now. Alright, it just wants to tease me now. Let me clear this up a little bit more, in fact. it doesn't want to trade back down into a premium. I think mine is just patience now. Kept getting hit by the fake move before the real, even though I know it's coming. Oh no, absolutely. Like I think I can show you somewhere where I might have took a loss sometime yesterday. No, it wasn't here. No, it wasn't here. There was some sells I tried taking, but I got stopped out by a move upwards. Trying to figure out where it was. Might have been. Oh, it might have been here. No. Well, yeah, there was some sells I was looking for, and I got stopped out because I got impatient. And typically, when I want price to reach some form of sell side liquidity, I'd want it to target buy side first, and vice versa. If I want it to target buy side first, I'd want it to target sell side before it goes to that buy side area. But yeah, I didn't wait for that buy side to be targeted. It got struck, and then it continued off to where my initial like TP would have been. On DXY, yeah, it doesn't want to trade down into this premium. You bounced off it here, bounced off it here, bounced off it here. Once it trades past that, I expect it to be rather fast, but it doesn't want to at all. So I'm probably going to be wrapping up here in about 4 minutes, three minutes. But yeah, it was lovely being here. You know, it's my first time here. I hope I was able to provide you guys with some form of insight and understanding on the markets. You know, trying to get a reputation here. So it's my first time doing this. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, you know, staying here. Yeah, take care of yourself, guys. Take care of yourself. I'll be here for another 3 minutes, so just enjoy your time while it lasts. I'm looking for 102.026 to be hit. 102.026. 102. Let's go through the daily. 102.026. Oh, damn, yours is. Oh, you're targeting this, huh? Thanks, dude. Good luck on the challenge. Thank you, brother. Already at 1.6%. Hopefully, you know, we'll get another trade soon today. On the 1 minute? On the 1 minute? Thank you. Good luck with the challenge. Thank you very much, Marat. Thank you very much, Mo. Thank you very much, Son of Light. I really appreciate it. I'll have it passed by the end of next week, phase 1 and 2, hopefully. Inshallah. I hope I'll get it passed by then. 102. 102 isn't on the one. Unless you mean 103, 026. 103, 026 would make sense. Oh, you're looking for this area? I mean, yeah, it's a volume imbalance that carries out over. It would make sense, absolutely. I appreciate all the knowledge you shared today, and I appreciate you being here. Thank you, Vitu Singini. If I said that right, thank you very much. And the fair value gap below. All right, I see it. I see it indeed. Well, yeah, looks like I'm gonna have to clear up within this minute. So, you know, if you guys want to see any form of movement, just mark up this high to this low, get the equilibrium point. Just pay attention to this and where price moves, and then you can cross-reference your charts, you know, with whatever the DXY is about to do. So yeah, thank you, and I wish you guys the best. Good luck in trading. Good luck in everything, really. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye.